Mandela had to do when he became president. Take back all that land and distribute it to who was harmed by the colonizers for all those years. They was being brutally killed, and even Mandela himself said this before he. Welcome again, my people, to the Washington SXM podcast. As always, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to click that bell to get notified whenever I drop a video. So I'm bringing some shocking news to most of you. I don't think would know this. Which in South Africa, there's a place in called ORANIA. It's a white only community. Only whites live there. They have their own currency, they have their own school, their own flags and all that. The whole nine. So let's get into the hit and then we'll discuss it after.
Welcome to ORANIA, a remote farming town in South Africa's Northern Cape. It prints its own money.
Yep.
Runs its own banks, has its own holidays, and manages its own affairs. Sounds like the perfect township to relocate, right? Well, hold your horses. To enter ORANIA, you have to qualify on certain parameters. The foremost is the color of your skin. It has to be white, because ORANIA is a whites-only town. The uniqueness is too obvious to ignore. Wherever you go in this township, you will only find Afrikaners. White people with Dutch ancestry. They do.
Stick up in. You cannot be Afrikaner if your history is Dutch. You are Dutch. So how you can call yourself an Afrikaner? As in they're saying they are South Africans. But you're not indigenous to South Africa. Again, you're a colonizer. You're Dutch. So this idea that you're an Afrikaner because you speak the language or because you can speak multiple languages in Africa, that doesn't mean you're an African. It's like me going in the States and saying I'm American. I'm not. I'm a Caribbean man. I'm a Jamaican. So I can't go on and claim I'm American. I'm being American when I'm born. When my background is Jamaican. Same thing with them. I can't go to South Africa as a colonizer. Colonize the area. Take that land. But again, this is so disheartening to know this, because this is one of the reasons why I never have Mandela as my hero, as the hero they proclaim him to be, because this all comes back down to the decision Mandela took to be when he become president, to from this time when he give the speech that from now on we're gonna go together forward peacefully. That is where he went wrong in my part. I'm gonna explain more when the video finish, but let's continue before I go off and I'm already having that kind of thoughts. So let's get into it.
All the work from playing the piano at the church to reading out the Bible to believers, to running the kitchen at a restaurant.
You said all white, so obviously.
Even gardening at orchards. All jobs, big or small, are reserved for white people.
First time they would do
The
something like that.
residents of this town insist that they're not racist.
Always.
We are from Africa, that's why we call ourselves Afrikaners. We want to remain here. We also want to retain our identity. Now, to retain one's identity is not a racist impulse. We wanted to retain our identity against the English or the British imperialism also. They're even whiter than we are, much whiter.
You are a part of the imperial
ORANIA
system.
is often dubbed as the last outpost of apartheid, a system of institutionalized racial segregation. South Africa abolished apartheid in the 1990s, but
Obviously
the legacy lives on in ORANIA. In fact, the township was founded by the son-in-law of Hendrik Verwoerd, South Africa's
the guy that
former
did
prime minister,
apartheid in the first
considered
place.
to be the architect of apartheid. Verwoerd's bust lies at
know
the
the name.
museum in this township, serving as a reminder of his beliefs. As for Nelson Mandela, the man credited with ending apartheid, the people of Orania don't really hold him in high regard.
I don't think that I can see him as a hero because he's part of a whole package. Mandela is part of a whole package. And
Stick up in. Naturally, they're not going to see Mandela as a hero because remember, to the black South Africans, Mandela was a hero because he was very good at public speaking, and he get a lot of help from other nations all over. So, of course, he as a racist, although they say they're not racist, but he's racist. So if you're a racist person, you cannot like the one president that revolutionized Africa in some people's eyes. Not in my eyes, in some people's eyes. But again, I'll continue on that later on in the video. Let's continue and get a grasp on how this exists in South Africa, why, and how is it still continuing.
as Mandela, all the other leaders within the ANC make a contribution to create some policy that is from our viewpoint not necessarily for the best of this country.
Mandela is not a hero, they say. And they're not racist, they insist.
As always,
So
they always say
what
that.
is this town all about? An attempt to protect their culture. This township is legal as per South Africa's constitution. An article defends its right to self-determination. But Orania's ambitions could soon spell trouble. Because the people here say their next goal is the creation of an Afrikaner republic, a white-only autonomous region within South Africa.
Stick up in. South Africa is already a sovereign nation. So if these racist white people, white Dutch people, who want to make that our Orania become a sovereign, independent republic within South Africa, and if the South African government goes along with this, that's where I'm gonna have an issue with the current president, if he may allow this to continue, because at the end of the day, he has the power. They have to go through him. And how you can live in a country that's black owned, right? And you say you want to be independent, but you just still don't care how you plant your own stuff and you have your own bank, you still have to use the resources of the country. So if you want to be independent, that's mean for me, you cannot you can have access to nothing from South Africa on a whole. If that was me, you can only, it was easier to grow, use electricity, but create your own electricity, your own internet, your own cable, do all that, because if it's black owned and you're using it, you cannot be an independent sovereign state. So let's continue.
Report we on. World is one.
Okay, I think that's where it stopped. Okay, let's get into my reason why I don't think Mandela was this great as how they portray Mandela to be. They have all kind of songs about Mandela, yes. And yes, he did go around the world and break down the barriers for South Africa. Yes, I give him that. But it's not, I think when he came, before Mandela went into prison, he was a radical freedom fighter. He went to prison, for me, he kind of killed his spirit. Because the person he was before he went in is not the person he was when he came out. He was more somber, more soft-spoken and all that, right? Because he spent about 27 years in prison. For me, when he came out and became president, the first thing he should have done, like what President Mugabe did in Zimbabwe, is take back all that land that was captured from South Africans, indigenous South Africans. Because remember, before, pre-Mandela, the South African government was brutal towards the blacks. They used to kill them. The police, they used to arrest them, set dogs on them, shoot them, kill them, rape the women, kill all the men, again, set dogs on them, watch them being eaten to death, right? So, you're going to go into power, and then you're going to say, oh, from this one, we're going to go together peacefully. Oh, not only that, they also take people land, run them off the land, take the land, all businesses was owned by whites on all the main streets. So if what President Mugabe did when he come to power in Zimbabwe, he was in a prison as well, and he came out of prison and he became the president when they become independent. He took away land from all the white farmers in Zimbabwe and give it to Zimbabweans. So he was more radical. This is what Mandela had to do when he became president. Take back all that land and distribute it to who was harmed by the colonizers for all those years. They was being brutally killed. And even Mandela himself said this before he came to prison. How the government was brutal when it came down to black South Africans. They were brutal. They were brutal, man. They have documentaries on this, so you can go and check it out. So that's where Mandela went wrong, by allowing them to retain all they had, all their wealth, all their land, all their resources. And that's what put South Africa and the continent on a downward spiral for me after Mandela presidency. It took a few freedom fighters and rebellious presidents to take back what's theirs, and a few of them did this: take back land from white-owned people and from colonizers and redistribute it to their citizens. And if Mandela had set this precedent from day one, Africa would be, as a continent, would be free by now. Remember, so with this story about this white-owned, they tried this in Jamaica, you know. The Chinese, quick side note, the Chinese came to Jamaica and they built a hotel, and they said that only whites and Chinese is allowed in the hotel. And did you know what Jamaicans did? They burned it down flat. I'm gonna say flat, they burned it to the ground, flat. Nothing was left standing when they finished it. They cannot come into a country and tell the citizens of that country, especially a country that's 90% black, and say, I'm building a hotel, but you have no right, you don't have no access to the beach, you have no access to the hotel, because they even call off the beach and say the black people can't go on the beach. What are you gonna come into? Look at this video right here, quick.
Look at it now. This is a dark one. Come on, weak man.
So you see there where they burned it down flat? You see that, like, I believe that's a hotel in that's a hotel that was on fire. There's a videos online and you can go and just Google it. Just type in Jamaicans burned down racist hotel. You find the video pop up and you will get to see it, and you can take a look at it. So yeah, Jamaicans, we don't play that. So I don't know why South Africans allowing this to be taking place. I don't want them to go violent because I don't want no one to get hurt. But the government just stepped in and tell them, listen, man, this thing you want to become a republic, not gonna work. So cut it out and amend the laws. If that's the case, you have to amend the laws to make that not happen. Let's hope he do, because this South African president, he's not soft-hearted. He's more of he's a leader, because he's making moves right now that makes me believe in him as a president. So he's not one of those that beg and plead with Westerners or colonizers. So anyway, you don't know. Hope you learned something tonight. You don't know what it is. It's the Washington SXN podcast. Like, share, comment, and subscribe, people. Don't forget to subscribe and like these videos. It helps for me to grow my young channel, so we can do more and better videos for you guys to learn more about the continent of Africa. So you know what this is. Peace, one love, boom.